Good afternoon, guys. Okay, so I just want to share my screen. This is your Schoology here, right? And just like I said before, just so I can show you again, in guides, I've made the notes from the peripheral nervous system available. I've also made the nervous system PowerPoint that we went over, I believe that was last class, available for anyone that wants a quick access to that information while you're getting ready for your test, while you're reviewing for anything, just an easy way instead of looking through, the week's folders and trying to find stuff. Okay. So just so that you have that and that you know of that. Today's going to be pretty simple. We are going to do a lateral thinking problem. And then I will open up the class to one-on-ones, question and answer review for anybody else who needs it, especially those of you who've maybe been absent. If you guys have any questions, but as usual, you really should be watching those Zoom recordings if you miss class. So here's how today's going to work with the lateral thinking question. If you guys remember, these are questions for you guys to try and solve. Sometimes they're riddles. Sometimes in the last few classes, what we've done is I had you draw something without lifting up your pen or your pencil, not tracing over a line you already made. But this time it's kind of like a little mystery riddle. Okay. In my classes yesterday, they tried this. Overall went really well. My one class, for some reason, first time in like 10 years of doing this. I know we're on Zoom. It might be a little weirder for people or they don't feel comfortable talking, but my other classes were fine. They really got into it. They had a lot of fun with it. But my one class, for some reason, it was silent. Literally, I sat here like, okay, guys, let's go. And they just didn't want to do it. So we moved on and did another assignment that, I was kind of bummed. But let's see how you guys handle this. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. But beforehand, there's a few rules. Okay. This is a riddle. I'm going to read you this riddle. There might be some of you who may have already heard this before and you know the answer. So if you've already heard this and you know the answer, I'm going to ask you to not ruin it for everybody else. You can comment or write in the chat just to me directly and like let me know. So that way I know if you're not saying anything like, hey, buddy, like, why aren't you, participating? Then I know you already knew the answer. So you're kind of sticking back and letting others try to figure it out. You are allowed to ask me yes or no questions to try and figure out the answer. Don't read it and listen and then just kind of try and guess the answer. Try and ask yes or no questions to get yourself thinking outside of the box to try and figure it out. That's what this is all about. We've talked about lateral thinking before. And then there might be a time within 5, 10, 15 minutes where some of you might be like, oh my God, I think I know the answer. Instead of saying it out loud, write it in the chat just to me and I'll let you know, just because like I want to try and make this a little longer, give as many people a chance to try and figure this out. Okay. I had one class, they didn't get it at all until the end. They were so close, but they kind of they gave up a little bit because it was too difficult for them to figure out. So that's your challenge for today. Okay. So again, don't ruin it. If you already know the answer, you can ask me yes or no questions. And the only time you should really write in the chat to me is if like you think you know the answer and you're writing that to me. I don't want to have a discussion via typing with you guys. Okay. It's worse enough that we're not, live with each other. And it's worse enough that we're on Zoom every day. Right. So I want you guys to literally just like unmute yourself and speak. Like, let's have a dialogue. Let's be people. Right. So here we go. See if you guys can figure this out. The man in the elevator. A man lives on the 10th floor of a building. Every day, he takes the elevator to go down to the ground floor to go to work or go shopping. When he returns, he takes the elevator to the 7th floor and walks up the stairs to reach his apartment on the 10th floor. Only when it rains does he go into the elevator and go all the way up to the 10th floor. Why? Why?
Are the stairs outside?
Good question. Are the stairs outside? Nope, they're not. They're inside.
Does the upstairs flood?
Does the upstairs flood? Another good question. No, it does not. You guys are already steps ahead of my classes yesterday.
Does his apartment have a roof? I feel like that's a stupid question, but I'm
No,
asking anyway.
no, listen, you're trying to think outside the box. His apartment does have a roof.
Do the stairs lead out to the roof?
Do the stairs lead out to the roof? Nope. It's all indoors.
Does he live on the 10th floor?
He lives on the 10th floor, yeah.
Does he water the plants?
He doesn't water the plants.
Okay.
Miss,
What?
I think he stops at 7th floor because he's wet and he don't want to go all the way up to the 10th floor,
When he's wet.
go inside with like wet clothes.
That's actually a
So
good explanation.
I think
That he's wet, and so he stops. But
he stops at 7th and climbs the stairs. At that time,
nope,
he leaves a little bit water.
nope, that's not it. It's a good guess, though. I don't know if you guys can hear my daughter screaming for me right now. Remember,
So
yes or
Hey,
no,
how old is he?
yes or no questions.
is he above the age of 60?
No, irrelevant.
Is the entire apartment complex closed in under a roof?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Is the ground floor underground?
No, it's not.
Is he?
Is his apartment like
I gotta
3
think.
floors from the 7th to the 10th?
Is his apartment wide?
Like 3 stories?
Yeah, from the 7th to the 10th. Yep, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Does he work in the building that he lives in?
Good question. Nope, he does not. Now, usually this is the part where people start to be like, man, it's too hard, and they quit. So I urge you and I challenge you not to. And I also challenge you not to Google anything. Try and just think, what's different here? What kind of questions can you ask to try and, get yourself to reach that next level of thinking, right?
Does he want to see a special someone in those floors?
That's a good question. Is there someone trying to see on the 7th floor? Nope. He's not
Ugh.
dropping on the 7th floor to see anybody.
Does the elevator have windows?
Does the elevator have windows? No.
Does he have a pet?
Nope.
Okay.
Does the elevator go all the way up to the 10th floor?
It does go all the way to the 10th floor.
Is the button broken when it rains?
Good question. No.
Miss,
Yep.
I think because he don't want to wet the elevator, like
Oh, he doesn't want to get the elevator wet? Nope.
Do the stairs get
up with it.
slippery?
Come up with solutions. Just think of questions. What's that?
Do the stairs get slippery?
No.
He's not related to anybody who lives in his building?
No.
Okay.
So a couple of you have messaged me separately. Not quite sure how you got the answer, but you were right. But shush. Let's keep going. I will eventually give you guys a hint in a few if you're not there, but I want to see if there's anyone that can get it without that.
Does his profession have anything to do with the rain? Like it would get messed up in the rain?
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Does
Nope.
the
Now he's
elevator
starting to think about other things, about himself and job or other things.
does the elevator go right into his apartment?
No.
Does it have like a bellhop?
Is
So
his
you-
apartment one floor?
What do you mean?
Is it like a one floor apartment?
Oh, it's just a regular apartment.
Does he only take the elevator to go shopping or to go to work, or are those the only two things?
Anything like to leave his
Oh, okay.
place. Daryl, is your hand up?
Yeah. I know I was reading it and I was like, wait, are the stairs a fire escape? Like, is it a fire escape?
That's a good thought, but no.
No? All right. Then I have no more answers.
So when he comes home from wherever he goes, he takes the elevator to the 7th floor and then walks to the 10th floor. The elevator works all the time and can go to the 10th floor. So now you have to think, okay, why would he stop at the 7th floor and not just go to the 10th floor? That's the first thing you need to think about.
Is he delivering anything to people who live between the 7th and 10th floors? No. Okay.
Is the front desk on the 7th floor?
Nope.
Dang it.
Now you have to look at the difference. What's the difference between taking
He
the
only uses the elevator all the way up when it rains. So I'm trying to figure out what happens when it rains that would get him messed up with that. Because it's not him watering the plants, because it would have made sense if he didn't water the plants those days because they already got watered because of the rain. But
So you guys have been thinking about the rain itself, because I've heard, a lot of you guys are talking about the water and does it flood? Maybe you should think about something else
yeah. Are you in the?
to do with the rain.
Did you see the people asking if he's too short?
The short. Hey, Jamie, what do you mean? Like, why would that matter, Jamie? Can you unmute yourself and talk?
Like, is he too short to like touch the 10th button to take him all the way up to his apartment?
Yep.
Hey,
You didn't figure it out though. Let's figure it out now.
does he have like platform rain boots or something?
Nope.
Does he swim to press the button?
Does the water flood in the elevator so it lifts him up?
No.
Is it because the stairs don't work on rainy days?
They work all the time. Jamie, what made you say that? Obviously you had to come up with that, right? Somehow. So how did you come up with that? That's a very specific answer. So I just want to know how you came up with it. I mean, you're right, but I just want to know right?
Because it said like he only takes it to the 7th floor. So like, and he walks the other way because like the 10th would be all the way at the top, and the 7th one would be that tall.
So then Now you guys have to think, how is he able to take the elevator to the 10th floor when it's raining if he's too short to press the button?
Is he wearing rain boots?
Does he have an umbrella?
Oh, he could probably poke the button with the umbrella if he has one, couldn't he?
That's correct.
Hey, there we go. Sarah got that before I did. I just
So the man is a little person, and every day he goes down to the ground floor because he can reach that button, and he goes out and does his thing, work, shopping. Then he comes home and he takes the elevator to the 7th floor because that's the only button that's the highest button he can reach. Then he walks all the way up through the stairs. But when it's raining, he takes his umbrella. And when he comes back, he's able to use the umbrella to press the 10th floor button. Yay. So great job. That was awesome. Great. We're gonna have more things like that, more riddles, more different questions like that. So way to not give up and way to keep going. Next class, I know that when we went over our PowerPoint last class, we kind of started to talk about the CNS, the central nervous system. So next class, we are going to be going over that more. And you guys are going to have an assignment on the brain, and that's going to be your first assignment of the marking period and your first way to really get points. So make sure that, and we'll talk about it next class to complete it fully. There's also going to be like a little 3-minute video I want to show to kind of break up the class so it's not like boring. I'm trying, right? I'm trying to think of different ways to do stuff. Okay. And then we'll do some brain trick stuff after that, the next class, and you guys will learn about a part of your brain that kind of connects the left and the right side of your brain. Do you guys remember what's the name for the one side and the other side of your brain? Side. What's another word?
Cerebrum.
What is it?
Cerebrum.
Nope.
Hemisphere.
Hemisphere. You have your left hemisphere and your right hemisphere. Just another word for side of side. Okay. Gotta know that. All right. And then we're going to review and then you'll have your test. So it's a quick unit in the next couple weeks. So are there any questions so far?